Okay. All right. All right. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Wait on some people to come in. Just here right first. All right. While I'm waiting on everybody to come in, fashion dolls, while we're waiting on everyone, I hope y'all are all as doing as awesome as I am. Let me back up. Oop, I don't want that to fall. Where is everybody today? I'm just waiting on everybody to come in. I'm waiting on everybody to come in. Recap this Met. Hi, my love. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm over here just checking my messages and stuff. We were supposed to have a show today with T Bishop, but T Bishop is going to reschedule. So I know you guys were looking forward to that interview, but tomorrow, Coach D Speaks joins me. So make sure y'all tune in for that. Thank y'all so much for loving today's look. My phone is literally buzzing off the hook, but we're going to wait for some people to come in before I can get started because I have some thoughts on yesterday's Met Gala. And to some of my new subs, you might not like my thoughts and opinions. So just hang on. Hang on, because I've got so many. So I'm waiting on everybody to come in. Oh, y'all are buzzing about this red dress, y'all. Yes, I was the way I'm feeling today, I'm feeling fiery. So I said red is the perfect color. Red is just the perfect. It's the cherry on top of the cake. Red is the perfect color. So I'm waiting on everybody to come in. Make sure y'all share the live out. Subscriber only mode. Only my subscribers come in and comment. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know. Victoria's Secret has the $6 full sized beauty sale today. So y'all can go and purchase you. Mother's Day is on the 11th. Typically it would fall on the 8th of this month, but you guys can go and check it out. Victoria's Secret Pink is having a full-sized beauty 5 fragrance mist sale, so I might check that out at the end of the show. But today I did go splurge and get the new Victoria's Secret Bombshell Bronze and Victoria's Secret Bombshell Bouquet, which smell amazing. Hi, Chef Sky. Hey, girl. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Welcome as y'all are coming in. Make sure y'all follow my beautiful mods. Oh, and one more thing. Remember I told y'all that I am a literary giant? Literally, I keep my nose in the books, and that I love me some Toni Morrison. Yes, 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 y'all, yes. um, I bought these actually at, I think, either the Goodwill store or a flea market. This one is Love, and then this one is Paradise. These are Toni Morrison's books that I was telling y'all about, and I have them in my special section here in my room where my books are. And I always try to include lots of Black literature into my library. So that's how I know so much. I'm always reading, I'm always educating myself, and I would encourage you to do the same. If just think about it, if they can take away Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, which will impact us as Black and brown voters, then they can take away Black historical literature. And we've seen them do that, roll back on pushing African American artifacts back into the, out of the museum, taking down President Obama's portrait. They're doing all of these things. So it's important that y'all stock up on your African American literature. Just had to point that out. But I want to talk about the Met Gala yesterday. Cardi looked amazing. Rihanna looked amazing. Beyonce looked amazing. Doechii, who else was there? Angela Bassett looked amazing. But however, I'm very disappointed in these ladies for attending. As Taraji P. Henson stated yesterday, what are we doing? Do y'all know who backed this Met Gala this year? Because if you don't know, make sure y'all go and check out my post on Instagram, and it'll tell you who is backing this year's Met Gala. Now, some of my commentary you might not like, some of y'all might not like today, but I have so many thoughts. We're going to talk about oligarchs and how oligarchs take shape in America. Because, see, it didn't just start with Hitler. It dates way back past Hitler. And we're going to dive into a little bit more of that tomorrow with Coach D Speaks from Midas Touch Network. So y'all make sure y'all tune in tomorrow with bells and whistles. Me and Coach D have been chopping it up throughout the week. That's something that I had to keep under the wraps. I didn't want everybody to know about it. But let's talk about this right here. Because I sent a bunch of stuff. My God, I sent a bunch of stuff to Andre and to a lot of other people as well, too. Let's talk about it. So Republicans were attacking this transgender disabled model on X. Of course, X has now become a trash bin for white supremacists to spread their hate and indoctrination. Not only just that, but that's how Donald Trump won this election, based off of fear, transphobia. When you can mobilize a group of people to think the way you think, and they believe what you tell them, like today, the sky is blue, it's beautiful outside. This person might say, hey, the sky is what? What is the color heart that we do for this season? Green. They believe everything that the cult leader tells them. It's important that you understand what you're working with. This is not your average Republican Party. This right here is fascism. It is textbook fascism. And it is important that you understand how fascist oligarchs and authoritarians take shape. We never would have thought, but the warning signs were there. The warning signs were clearly there. And some of us, being so deep in the clouds, we just chose to ignore it as if we're going to still have a democracy. With over 250 years in this country, and America has never voted for a woman as president. So my guess and prediction is, when is that going to happen? When are we going to start to see some changes? First, it starts with patriarchy and dismantling patriarchy. And once we can dismantle patriarchy, then we might see some progress. But other than that, like Michelle Obama said, don't even look any woman's direction, because you've had two clear warnings from Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris, who both warned you exactly everything that this man is doing, he would do. Let me know if I'm here, y'all. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? Let me go on ahead and share my live. See if we can get some more people in here. Yes, because I got a lot. We're going to talk about this Met Gala. I'm having mixed emotions about it, because I'm just like, the world is literally burning and on fire. And that I understand it's every month, the 1st of May. I understand that it's every 1st of May. But at the same time, it was just done in poor taste. Like, literally, what just happened, the Supreme Court's decision? Do y'all know how big that is? Do y'all know what the Voting Rights Act is? President Lyndon B. Johnson, do I need to do a refresher course on that? Kevin Roberts, the Heritage Foundation, not just Kevin Roberts, but Paul Dans. Not just Paul Dans, but Hanson from Scary Movie 2, Russ Voigt, who is over Office OMB. This is what we're dealing with. These are white supremacists. But let me go on ahead and share this live out and get it to a couple people so that we can get some more voices in here. Y'all make sure y'all share this live out. We got a lot to discuss today. Yes, indeed. And I'm going to do this in a brief nick of time. All right, because I'm going to go cook me some French fries after this. I don't have a show. I had a show scheduled for today, but unfortunately, T Bishop is going to reschedule. But yes, tomorrow, Coach D Speaks from Modest Touch Network will be joining me. So make sure y'all tune in for that, definitely. But, yep. This gentleman has his bachelor's, master's, and PhD in African American. And then what they did was, after they did that, they went on ahead and they said, you know what, we're going to start trying to chip away at these programs. Mm-hmm. We're going to start chipping away at African American literature. We're going to start chipping away at all of the other programs that are teaching African American literature. That's what we're going to do. See, this is why it's important that we read, especially us as Black people, as people of color, because what does he love to say about us? Low IQ. That is the first thing that he goes to, is low IQ. It's always low IQ. And see, some of our own people didn't read. They didn't believe Project 2025. Now, do you believe it? It's happening right before your very eyes. And they're still hung up and want to get $1 billion to build this big-ass ballroom for Donald Trump. Let me tell you the catch of that ballroom, though. There's a catch to it. There's always a catch with this regime. It's not an administration. It's a regime. There's going to be a bunker underneath. And what do you think that Donald Trump is going to do with this bunker when some shit pops off with Iran? Because trust and believe, if you think going on ahead and striking some of Iran's shit, they're not going to retaliate, these motherfuckers are going to retaliate. And I would be here for it, baby. I'm going to be sitting there eating my popcorn, cheering them on. Go ahead, Iran. Because I told you, we're in a war with another country that wasn't even bothering us in the first place. And it's costing us $1 billion every time he goes and he says, okay, we're going to deploy troops. Guess where he's eyeing next? Cuba. And then we're going to go down the line here of other countries that I could possibly predict that he's probably going to want to go into that have resources. I'm going to say Guatemala. I'm going to say Chile. I'm going to say Venezuela. Remember, he wanted to name Canada the 51st part of the United States of America. We can't make this shit up, and y'all know good and goddamn well I'm not lying. Disenfranchise is through policy. Yes, absolutely. And that's what they did with the most recent Supreme Court ruling. See, by that, it's going to dilute Black and brown voting power. So that means this election, they are already rigging the 2026 midterms. I hate to break it to y'all. Yeah, they are. They're already rigging the 2026 midterms. And a bunch of our allies have pulled out. They're no longer wanting to work with us. They're no longer wanting to do business with us because they're trading amongst themselves. And about 70 countries of the UN Security Council is done with Trump. Yeah, he tried to NATO, don't forget, they pulled out of NATO. Didn't Kamala say he would do something like that on stage, that he would pull out of NATO? How convenient. But this is what I'm saying right here. You're not dealing with people who are qualified. You're dealing with people who are unqualified. Didn't she say that there will be no checks and balances or no guardrails there if this man gets back in power? And the consequences would be brutally serious. And now you're starting to reap the benefits of those consequences. And to Stephen A. Smith, let me push the rest of your fucking hairline back as well, too. Let me talk to you for a second. If you think that black people voting Republican is going to save us and get us out of this shit when Republicans are the main key cause of what the fuck is going on in this country, you are sadly mistaken. Do not listen to Stephen A. Smith and the last bit of his jacked up hairline. 77 million Americans decided to go into the voting booth and vote for Donald Trump overwhelmingly. Oh, he's not going to do that. Oh, he's not going to do that. What is he doing right now? Your healthcare premiums are skyrocketing. Gas prices, don't even ask me how much gas prices are down here in South Carolina. They are $3.99. Gases went up $4 per gallon. And California, the last time I checked, it was $7. You'll be paying $5 in gas. And it's all because his fragile little ego got hurt. And he doesn't know how to take no for an answer. That's why. That's why we're at where we're at currently right now. Because you have a man who is out of control. Donald Trump is a megalomaniac. He is a psychopath. And he is drunk with power. And he is going to keep abusing that power. So it's going to get worse before it can get better, y'all. Just brace yourselves. Ooh, excuse me. Indigestion. But like I was saying, let's talk about the Met Gala. Do y'all know who funded the Met Gala this year? Laura and Jeff Bezos. Who is Jeff Bezos, do you ask, Miss Stevie? Jeff Bezos is one of the oligarchs. He's over Amazon and the Washington Post. Chris Smalls, who was one of the Amazon union leaders, got arrested at the Met Gala yesterday. They arrested him. What have Amazon union workers or labor workers been saying? We can't work in these conditions. And what is going on right now is that you're going to see these. You've seen videos of a man literally setting fire to a factory, saying these working conditions, we can't work like this. People are saying we need better working conditions. That's what they're saying. And just like Chef Scott said, nobody chose to listen. Nobody chose to listen to black women. Nobody chose to listen to black people when we warned you and we told you that everything that this man would do, he is currently doing right now. Now, he's talking about I maybe can get 8, 9, or 10 more years. Bitch, no the fuck you can't. And it's over the American people, because the White House is not your house, it's our house. It belongs to the American people and our ancestors. And may God be willing, 1946 to 2026, And that's all I'm going to say. You can do with that information what you want. Not over the American people's dead body will you get another term, a third term. We will gladly go to that White House and turn that White House inside out with your ass in it to get you on up out of there. You're going to get out of there one way or another. Your ass is going to be held accountable, period. You and the Republicans, each and every one of y'all, over our dead bodies. And you can follow up Steve Bannon if you want to. Please follow up Steve Bannon if you want to, talking about giving this man a third term. Nuremberg trials is all I'm going to say. Hi, Lotus Egyptian Flower. Hey, baby. Hey, girl. We over here talking about these oligarchs and these billionaires and these millionaires using their wealth to purchase a fucking president, which is what Elon Musk did. Because remember, on the campaign trail back in 2024, this fool didn't break a sweat. Nada. Kamala was doing all of the legwork, and she had less than 107 days. That debate with Joe Biden left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. I know it. Joe had a bad night, and everybody wanted him to stay in the race, but he just didn't have it in him. So we got what we wanted. You know, Kamala, she had less than 107 days to campaign and get herself out there and get familiar with her. But she has experience. She was qualified. What is Trump's experience? Trump's experience is racism, is bigotry. It's taking out 5-page spreads on 5 young Black and Latino men. That's Trump's experience. Trump's experience is calling Puerto Rico a floating pile of garbage. Trump's experience is saying that Africa is an S-hole country. And just recently, he said some bullshit about Somalia as well, too. Trump's experience is saying that I would prefer a short guy with yarmulke to count my money over a Black because Blacks are lazy. Low IQ. That's a stupid question to Abby Phillip on CNN. Don't get me started on what he said to other Black female journalists. Rachel Scott at the NABJ, the National Association for Black Journalists. Is she Black or did she turn Black? Was he born here or is he an American citizen? And by he, you know exactly who. Our man, the main man, President Obama, who I have much respect for, who given you a great economy, and look at what you're doing now. But you want to know something? Everything that he's doing is causing everything to go up. And at the same time, what's going to happen is, hey, Kendra, girl, you are good. Yes, we had a show scheduled for today, and I know y'all are like, where's T Bishop? T Bishop is going to reschedule for me. But I want to talk about last night's Met Gala and who's behind this year's Met Gala. Do y'all know who's behind this year's Met Gala and sponsoring it? Jeff Bezos. Remember back in 2024, what did he say? He's not going to endorse either candidate, but we see your ass sitting front row at Donald Trump's inauguration alongside Elon Musk, alongside Mark Zuckerberg, alongside Peter Thiel. Who is Peter Thiel, Miss Stevie, do you ask? Peter Thiel is behind Palantir. He used to own PayPal with Elon Musk. Peter Thiel is the reason why we have couch fucker J.D. Vance. And he was given an ultimatum. Donald Trump was given an ultimatum that if you did not choose J.D. Vance, then we're not going to fund you. So Donald Trump deeply hates J.D. Vance, couch fucker. He does. But see, Peter Thiel is the reason why we have all of this shit going on. All of these AI data centers. Mark Zuckerberg, all of them. Palantir is more so surveillance. So they can watch everything that I'm doing, everything that I'm saying. Even my platform, they watch my stuff too. The reason why I haven't been going live on Instagram is because they banned me for over a year because I had said some colorful things about Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly came from Beyonce and Michelle Obama, and we know that Megyn Kelly is a racist. So I repeated what Don Lemon said on my in my stories, that she can go fuck herself. And I still stand on it. I still stand on that. Megyn Kelly can go fuck herself. It's called freedom of speech. Freedom of speech for me, just as Brother King Jive said yesterday, Kendra, and that's exactly what he said in his live, which is free speech, being able to give people the truth. And that's what I'm going to do. So yes, they put me in Instagram jail. They banned me from going live. So I got to wait until this restriction is lifted, and then I'll be able to go live on Instagram, and it'll be more everything on there, because I was doing my lives on Instagram. But on YouTube, you have a little bit more censure, but you still have to kind of curb some of your words, even in the chat. So I see what Auntie Deb and King Jobs and them was saying, Kendra, when they say you kind of got to curve it. Don't. Conscious even told me to. But yes, y'all want to be able to say the stuff that y'all can say to black people and us not retaliate it. I'm seeing a lot of TikTok videos of these white influencers that are MAGA saying the N-word. I'm letting you know now. If you say that to a black person, it is up. And the rest is on you. So you can do with that information what you will. But the rest is on you. And Donald Trump can't protect you or save you from that, my dear. At all. But let's talk about also, I found a video yesterday, and I sent it to the chat, about Jeff Bezos and ICE. Let me see if I can pull that video up, and I'm going to play the audio for y'all as well, too. Yes, the U.S. debt surpassed size of an entire economy for the first time since World War II. What's going to happen to the U.S. currency? It's going to weaken. We won't be able to use money. Not only that, but this motherfucker wants his face on the $250 bill. We can't make this shit up, Chef Sky. Girl, we can't make this up. He wants to put his face on the U.S. passport. And on front of the U.S. passport is going to have him in front of the Constitution. I'm not paying for that shit. None of the American people want to pay for that shit. How about some universal health care? How about taxing the goddamn rich? We can start there first. Because if we have to pay our American share of taxes, they should too. I'm disappointed at Beyonce, Cardi B, who else was there? Rihanna, Angela Bassett, all of them, they were at the Met. Doechii too. I'm just like, all of my favorite female artists. And Cardi was speaking out against ICE. She was for Kamala. Almost all of these female artists that I have. Doechii at the BET Awards even spoke out when the protests, remember when all of the stuff was going on and they had ICE in LA and they was deporting people at Home Depot? They're still doing that. It's not good. It's not good at all. But let's talk about this video that I had saw. Where is it at? If I can find it. Because I could have sworn I sent this to my Short Stack family chat. Yep. Taraji P. Henson spoke out and warned people about Project 2025 as well. Jay-Z was there, Blue Ivy was there, Beyonce was there, Rihanna and ASAP, Cardi B, and Cardi, we thought you stood for something. Like you were calling ICE out and everything at your concerts. But to see you there, it's just like a slap in our face. But you know what, Kendra, y'all, Lizzo warned that we were going to be disappointed by some of our favorite celebrities. Idol worship, that's something that is talked about in the Bible. And I'm pretty sure King Jobs has covered that on his channel too, right, Kendra? King Jobs has talked about that, idol worship. Even though it's your fave, listen, we got to start holding our faves accountable. Y'all know I'm a Beyonce stan over here. And I compare myself to Queen Bee a little bit as far as work ethic. But I could never be Beyonce, y'all. I could never be Beyonce. As far as her work drive, me doing Style by Stevie, with such passion and fire, yes. I don't mind being compared to Queen Bee into that aspect. She's super talented. But listen, Kendrick wasn't there. Guess who else wasn't there at the Met Gala? Meryl Streep didn't go. Bella Hadid didn't go. Zendaya didn't go. But guess who styled Laura Bezos for the Met? La Roche, come front and center. Let me talk to you for a minute. What the hell are you doing? And I said this before, not all money is good money. Like, do you need the money that bad? But we need to talk about idol worship. This is what Lizzo was saying. The same way we found out that Chili was MAGA, let me tell y'all a little secret. I'm about to put y'all up on game. Let me get me a sip of water over here. Oh, baby, I'm about to put y'all on game for real. Hold on 1 minute. Yep. Chef Sky, yep. La Roche styled Laura Bezos for the Met Gala. And I did a post about that in my story, and I think it's also on my feed. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at StyleByStevie_daytime. If you want to know who your favorite celebrity is donating to or where they stand politically, because the days of, I'm not into politics, I don't do politics, and I've had to text some of my guests about that as well, too, that come on this show and say, hey, well, we're going to get a little political. You're going to talk about the current state of the world. I'm going to figure out a way to slide that little something in your food, that little bit of season, that secret sauce in your food to find out what I need to find out. I always do my research. And like Kendra said yesterday when I was on with Kid Griffey, when we were talking about dating, you got to do background checks on people. So you know what, I head on over to the FEC website. You can go to that FEC website. FEC is Federal Election Commissions. And you can type in your favorite celebrity's name. Yeah. And it will tell you exactly how they donated to whom. Rosanda, Chili Thomas. You donated to Ted Cruz and Donald Trump. And with that being said, you can do it for other celebrities as well, too. Maybe family members, maybe friends. And if it says never surrender or win red, they donated to Donald Trump and Republicans. If they donated to Vote Blue or Obama Foundation, then you keep those. Those are the ones you continue to follow, the ones who stood on principle. Shout outs to Mom Donnie. Mom Donnie, Zoran got an invite to the Met Gala. He said, nah, instead of worshiping celebrities, I'm going to worship the garment workers because they're immigrants and immigrants make this country great. They're doing the goddamn jobs that y'all sun-dodging asses won't do. And y'all held up signs at his rally saying, mass deportations now. Now tell me I'm wrong. And some of y'all are married to people who just got their citizenships in this country, who worked hard to get their citizenship. And now you've got his new so-called acting attorney general, Todd Blanche, the one who was seen with Ghislaine Maxwell, and she was taking that binder back to her prison cell. The one who met with her, that Todd Blanche, who said we should just move on past the Epstein files. We will never move on past the Epstein files. That's number one. And number two, let me tell you else something. You want to prosecute people for speaking out. You got the press secretary out here trying to spin it after the most so-called attack happened at the White House correspondent dinner. Staged. What else you got? Give us something new. You got the press secretary sitting up here talking about, oh, well, you're a fascist. You know, no, we're not fascists. The guy that's your boss is the fascist. We're not the ones who said we wanted to be dictator on day one. But let me find that video that I was talking about as far as the Met Gala and the history behind it. We need to elect people, and I will say this, we need to be electing people. Also, Spirit Airlines canceled flights and passengers are still stuck at airports 2 days later waiting for their bags to show up. Airlines are closing down. Let me see if I can find that video, though, about the Met Gala. I could have sworn I sent it somewhere. But I need y'all to know about that. I think it was Now It's Impact. Let me see if I can pull that up. In the meantime, make sure that y'all are subscribing to Style by Stevie as well. Let me see. Yeah, they want a $400 million ballroom. And guess who's going to be footing the bill? Us. That's who's going to be paying for this big old grand ballroom. And Kendra, in case you missed it, I dropped also what's the big golden secret. What's the golden surprise that's going to be in that ballroom? What's going to be in that ballroom is going to be a bunker. So when some shit pops off with Iran, and Iran says, we're going to strike here, we're going to strike here, and they attack, his ass will be covered and protected. Like the coward he truly is. There's a reason why I call you Orange Piggy. But let me see if I can find that video of them breaking it down about the Met. Okay, you got a Real Housewife star sending an anti-UN violence message at this year's Met Gala. I wouldn't have even went. This $400 million ballroom. Exactly, Lotus Egyptian flower. Just a waste of our hard-earned American tax-paying dollars. You got Kid Rock and Keg's Breath out here going on a joyride on the jet plane at our expense. What else is going on? Let me see what else is going on. That video's got to be in here somewhere. I swear it does. We all know what's happening uptown tonight. We know, right? There's one guy, one very big, very bald billionaire who wants to make the Met Gala all about him. Ew. What's that even about? How did an event that's supposed to celebrate creativity, artistry, and fabulousness in all genders end up revolving around this Temu Lex Luthor? profits off of pushing working people to their very brink. How did an event that is supposed to be about celebrating our culture become a vessel for one man's ego? We all know what's happening. And it's titled Ball Without Billionaires. I found it. Do y'all know who that was, that voice? That is Lisa Ann Walter from Abbott Elementary. And she was also in one of my favorite Disney movies, The Parent Trap. Y'all know I love me some Lindsay Lohan. I think Lindsay Lohan is the ultimate style icon. But everything she just said is spot on. Spot on. It's like they want to control every aspect of the things that we love and we enjoy. We would have enjoyed the Met Gala, but we don't want your money involved in it. Because the same way you used your money to back and sponsor this is the same way that y'all went and y'all purchased the president. Tell me I'm wrong. You cannot tell me that Elon Musk didn't put his power and his thumb on the scale and bought a president. I remember when this fat fuck sat up on stage and said, don't worry, we got all the votes we need. Didn't even break a sweat. And Kamala is going knocking door to door, making phone calls, basically having to get on her knees and crawl to earn a black man's vote. Because black men, let me tap on some of y'all for a minute, some of y'all black hetero brothers. And I hope that my pumps fly and they knock some sense into you. Some of y'all got out here and were just like, oh, well, you know, what about her locking up black men? Y'all were calling her cop Mala. Y'all were disrespecting this black woman when this black woman created a program specifically for you. Hey, Alvin. Y'all make sure y'all go and check out my colleague, Alvin, Tit for Tat, This and That. That's foolish money spent on a damn gala. Exactly. But guess what? Work-led protests held in New York instead of the Met Gala. They did an alternate thing, and they had Amazon workers walking in their own like fashion show. I thought that was so creative. So in the midst of fighting fascism, I believe that creativity and artistry will get us through. And by us doing that, it's important that you support independent platforms like mine, like King Jives, like my brothers, and my colleagues, Conscious TV, Bubs to God. K-Tubes doesn't really do politics. You're going to get straight music over there, but us, we dive into that world. And we do a little bit of everything in our platforms. Make sure that you're subscribing to K-Tubes, T for T, Tit for Tat, This and That, King Jobs, Conscious TV, T.S. Madison and Craig, what they're doing with their show and their platform. It's imperative that you are subscribed to independent black media outlets that you know and that you trust. And what's so different about each and every individual that I just named is that we have our own fire. So the same thing that I'm telling you, they're going to tell you on their platform, educating you about fascism, educating you about white supremacy and the history of it. Did y'all know that South Carolina, the Confederacy runs deep down here in the United States? Did y'all know about the Stoner Rebellion down here in South Carolina as well? Go back and check out my interview with Keith Boykin about him foreshadowing. He wrote a book called Why Does Everything Have to Be About Race? Y'all need to go and check that interview out. Keith Boykin, and you see Keith Boykin on CNN and everything. I have that book. That book is titled, Why Does Everything Be About Race? You need to be reading books like this as well, too. About everyday people. Toni Morrison, Love and Paradise. May she rest in grace. I don't have, is it the, one of them I don't have. Beloved, that's the one. But we need to be purchasing black literature. We need to be making sure that we are supporting black-owned businesses. We need to be making sure that we are general striking. Shout outs to those who participated in the economic blackout in the first of this month here, May. So yes, we have to make sure that we are participating. We have to make sure that we're doing that. So we had a show scheduled for today in case you're just coming in, but I wanted to talk about the Met Gala and what we can be doing to stop these billionaires and millionaires from stealing our hard-earned tax-paying dollars and it going to them. They can sit up and eat crab legs and lobster and champagne, Keg's Breath, or they can go on joy rides, Keg's Breath and Kid Rock, at our expense. Or they can take private jet plane rides, Christy Gnome Dog Killer. Or they can stay in lavish places. This money can be going towards cancer research. This money can be going towards universal health care and U.S. aid in other countries where children are starving. Families are starving. But instead, you want to continue to stroke and pet the ego of a orange piggy. That's what you want to do. Now tell me I'm wrong. What else the hell is going on? Donald Trump is offering Senator John Fetterman, yeah, if he gets his total and complete endorsement, if he joins the Republican Party, Fetterman, you might as well go on ahead and take your red hat out because you have been voting on harmful policies with Republicans. And there's another who's doing it down here in my city of South Carolina as well, also too, and that is Jim Clyburn. Jim Clyburn, you got to go. And I have been thinking, I've been debating and contemplating about running. I would be the youngest, but I don't think I have a shot. And especially in the district that I'm in, that's predominantly white. Yeah, we got black people that vote, but overwhelmingly, white supremacy and patriarchy will win. It's a shame some of our own complain about this Trump regime and then go to the Met Gala. Yes, the mirror has two faces. Taraji was right. What the hell are y'all doing? Why were y'all there? Cardi, Rihanna, Beyonce, Doechii. But see, Lizzo warned us about that, Alvin. Back in December, remember Lizzo said, you're going to see some of your favorite celebrities disappoint you. And what do we know? I wasn't expecting Chili from TLC to be on my bingo list as MAGA. I wasn't expecting Randy Jackson from the Jackson 5 to be MAGA. And pictured alongside RFK Jr. And we know that RFK Jr. is extremely dangerous because he's over Health Human Services. This is how, what goes, our food safety and precautions, all of these things. Medicine, all of this, they withdrew without the World Health Organization. They withdrew out of that. I think you should give it a try. You have no idea the valuable lessons you will learn. Plus, it will open doors for you, so run for office. If I run against Jim Clyburn, and then Lindsey Graham and Tim Scott as well, too. Hate to say it, but we call them sellouts. Bingo. And Stephen A. Smith, that applies to you, too. You telling us to vote Republican. You went on Cam Newton, and Cam Newton, in my opinion, he's a misogynist, but Cam Newton, I really can't describe it. I'm just keep an eye out on him. That's one I'm kind of questionable about. But see, they're not going to vote for a black trans woman in South Carolina, Lotus Egyptian. They're not used to something different. When I created Style by Stevie, I said I did not want to look like other talk show hosts. I did not want to be other talk show hosts. I just wanted to be myself. I just wanted to be Miss Stevie, you know? And what sets me aside from other hosts as well too, as well as any other, if I was to run candidate, is the fact that I'm Black. Well, yes, of course we all Black, but being trans. And then there's some in between that can relate to that of being trans. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think South Carolina is ready for that type of change, because these white men are willing to burn down this entire country if it means protecting white supremacy. And the sad part is you have some of our own that, if you can get on that issue of trans people, oh, we can hate trans people together. But I'm going to tap on Jim Clyburn a little bit more. You said when Joe Biden was in office, you were asked if Joe Biden was to pardon Donald Trump. You said you'd be for it. You don't pardon fascists, Jim Clyburn. Thank the Lord Joe Biden didn't, but I can tell you what he should have did with Merrick Garland. What he should have did was investigated and impeached Donald Trump. And that is why we wouldn't be where we're at currently right now if this man was indicted and impeached. Y'all should have been went on ahead and took care of that. And we wouldn't be in the mess that we're in right now, because right now we are cluster fucked. And you're going to keep hearing that word circulate around a lot. Cam is not a journalist, just a person giving his lackluster opinion. And he wears cool hats. Who is Jim Clyburn training to follow? But guess what, Lotus Egyptian Flower? He got his karma, because guess who's trying to unseat your ass? That fucking Ralph Norman is trying to unseat your ass. Get yourself out there and get exposure. You may not win this round or the next, but you may several rounds down the road. Also, your voice is needed out there and should be heard. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Alvin. But in my state, y'all know about the Confederacy that runs deep down here. The Confederacy is deep in South Carolina. And my thing is, are people ready for this type of change? Mainly white people. And we know the answer to that. I'm not saying yes and I'm not saying no. But we need something different. Might not be me, but you need something different. Because guess what they're already talking about doing? Let me go on ahead and pull that one up. Shout outs to Aaron Parnas and Midas Touch Network.
Major updates regarding the upcoming elections. As the Trump administration and Donald Trump ramp up efforts to impact the elections, Trump is now suggesting canceling or suspending elections that are ongoing. Quote, if they have to vote twice, so be it, so that Republicans can gerrymander various states across the country. He wants to pick up as much as 20 House seats. Comes as we're learning about 42,000 people voted absentee in Louisiana before that election was suspended. And now, according to the New York Times, the Trump administration is seeking the names of all Georgia poll workers from Fulton County from 2020. Here's the president's statement saying we cannot allow there to be an election.
Let me stop there. Who's in Fulton County, y'all? And I know Alvin knows the answer to it in Lotus Egyptian Flower. Who is in Fulton County? Let me sip my water. Y'all still there? Let me know. Who's Fulton County? She's a district attorney. Fonnie Willis. Why was Fonnie Willis on trial? What was it, last year or this year? Not too long ago, they just had Fonnie Willis on trial. Why are they sending these so-called FBI agents into Georgia to seize the machines from 2020, the voting machines from 2020? Did y'all remember that happened this year? Republicans, if their policies don't work, this is the extent that they will go to keep power. They are not interested in relinquishing power, which is why we have to have a massive blue wave wipeout this November, y'all. Make sure that y'all are registered to vote, because in 2024, they purge voters off of the rolls. You have to make sure that you're set and ready to go. Check your polling location. Make sure that you check your voter registration. Check all of that shit. Go to iwillvote.com or go to vote.org. You hear Kemp is not running again, and I can guarantee you it's probably going to be another white man, the same way they voted in Georgia again, against Sean Harris, a black man. They were not going to elect the black man. And that's the same shit they did to Stacey Abrams. They're not going to elect anybody black in power. And it sucks. It really does. Because y'all are so hell-bent on preserving white supremacy and racism, it's internalized. It's in y'all's DNA. Y'all hate black people. Y'all hate us so bad. Y'all are not the ones that haven't been wronged. We have. We should be the ones around here tearing shit up. But see, black people, we have to be composed, and we were told we have to be humble. And what do I always say? We've been told that we have to pick ourselves up by the bootstraps. And just as is, we're supposed to take it on the chin. But I can guarantee you, if Kemp is not running, it's going to be another MAGA elected or funded official that is going to be running in that position. Now, Sean Harris should have won, but knowing that district that is predominantly white, they want all of the districts to just be white voters. They don't want black and brown voters. They're diluting our power by gerrymandering the fuck out of states that are already heavily black and brown. And these are black and brown districts. So just think about it, 20 seats. And they're trying to do the same shit here in South Carolina, thanks to Ladybug Lindsey Graham. I just want to know that question, and we talked about that the last time when after I did my show with Q Dawkins. Lindsay, when are you I'm just going to be blunt and say it, and it's not queer phobic. When are you just going to come out the closet? When are you going to come out the closet? Acquiring minds want to know. We're tired of the speculations. We're tired of the goose chase. Like, when are you going to come out of the closet? Because as much as you try to hide it and duck and dodge that question, you had someone ask you that question and you ran for the hills. But you busy out here worrying about a ballroom and trying to redistrict in a state that's already red. And you know what? White Americans down here in my city of South Carolina overwhelmingly will vote for this again. And that's the sad part. Unfortunately. Yes. So I mean, I'm not shocked at all. Anything that he does, Kendra with them eyes. But it's the truth though. It's literally the truth. Like Lindsey Graham is Donald Trump's do boy. They play golf together. And I mean, this man literally got up here and was crying for Donald Trump on Fox News. Do I need to roll that clip? I don't understand why they would. Essie does not. Oh, don't forget the bubble wand too, Alvin, because he took a trip to Disney World while they were trying to pass funding for ICE or Slave Patrol. $70 billion was passed to fund statewide terrorism, ICE. And they did it in the lake of night when our backs were turned while we were asleep, without Democrats there. Because I thought that's how Congress works. It's the power of the pocketbook in Congress. And that's on both sides. Checks and balances. But Republicans don't care about the rules. So Dems, it's time to get nasty. Because these motherfuckers are not playing fair. Because they're hung up on preserving white privilege. They're hung up on preserving white supremacy. They're hung up on preserving that Confederacy. But our ancestors are listening. Oh, yeah. They would willing to burn an entire goddamn country down if it means to protect white privilege, lotus Egyptian flower. I'm telling you, girl. Oh, yeah, Ladybug Lindsay, he is a proper lady. Oh, you should have saw the way he ran in that video when that guy asked him, Lindsay, are you gay? Oh, he took off, and I mean, he couldn't find a response for it. He took off in that video. I got to find that video and send it to the short stat chat so y'all can see it. But baby, I ain't never seen him take off that fast before. That was hilarious. And it's sad because the more you continue to vote for them, they're not going to do anything for you. They're not going to do anything for you. But yes, that's what we got to deal with for the next decade. This man doesn't plan on leaving. He's talking about 8, 9, and 10 years. You're 80, dude, so I don't think he would make it that long. And I can't say what my dark intrusive thoughts want to say on here on YouTube, so I'm gonna keep that to myself. Use your imagination. And I'll leave it at that. On that note, we're gonna leave it at that. But I think I just about covered everything. Tax the rich. Oh, boom. There you go. Alvin already said it in the chat. He'll be maggot food before then. Mm-hmm. Love to see it. Somebody said they wanted to sit next to me at his funeral. I've already got the perfect dress picked out when that moment comes because I will be celebrating. And if they don't think that America's going to celebrate and rejoice at his passing, you got another fucking thing coming. As much trauma, tyranny, and danger that this man has put us in, we going to celebrate. We going to have our happiness. And I think Brother King Jobs should give the word, Kendra. I think he should give the word. And Auntie Deb, everybody, Lady Trelini, everybody should be there. Somebody said they wanted to sit next to me. I'll be there. I've already got my dress. I was telling Alvin, Kendra, y'all, I've already got my dress picked out to wear when that moment comes. And I've already told Bubs, I said, Bubs, you will be one of the first ones I'm calling, you and K-Tooks and everybody in the chat. I'm going to be rejoicing. And Sean laughs every time I send him an hourglass. Like, how much more does this man have? How much more? But he's talking about 8, 9, or 10 years. Fool, you won't even be alive to see it that long. And you're talking about running a third term. Oh, it was you, Lotus Egyptian Flower? Yes, I remember you saying that. I couldn't remember at the minute, but she did say that. She said she wanted to sit next to me. Oh yeah, I'm gonna give him a very nice speech. I'm not. I like I said in my last video. It's up from here, and I know they want us to feel defeat, but we will never be defeated. Y'all want black people to get up and go to those streets, but we're not doing it. See, we're beating you at your own game, and we're being smart doing it because we know what would happen if we go out to the street in mass. Insurrection Act. We got to be very strategic with planning this because we're not all united and on a united front. But see, you can always roast them and read them, beat them at their game. And I can tell you who is excellent at doing that. Conscious TV, King Jives, and Bubs the God. And then just tag me in when I feel free to. If not me, then Alvin or Deshaun. Those are professional roasters, each and every one of them that I just named. You ain't going to win no roast battle with Bubs the God. Bubs will read the room. King Jives, DeMario, he knows how to read the room. Conscience knows how to read the room and will read you from top to bottom. Alvin as well, too. So since we can't put our hands on you, we can read you. And as long as I have oxygen in my body, you will still be an orange, deflated, dilapidated, orange-ass piggy. The last time I said you were shaped like a deep freezer, but I think that's a little bit too much for a deep freezer. I think you are shaped like flubber. That's what I think you're shaped like. I think you are shaped like a fucking beanbag chair. I think you are shaped like a hefty garbage bag. And I'm going to stop there. I also told Deshaun that I think that you are shaped like an egg with legs. There's a video of him getting off of the airplane, and I posted it to my stories on Instagram, of him trying to walk down the airplane, and he kind of stumbled a little bit. Yeah. Humpty Dumpty Don. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up before I get off of here. I told you, it's up from here. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to cut that in a minute. Let me see. Right here. Yeah, I'm going to have to mute. See how he pulls his pants up over his goddamn navel? That's what I was talking about. Look at the orange piggy. Yeah, I might not be able to save this live because y'all ain't about to clip me. No. But yes, you got your nerve to be calling somebody, be quiet, piggy. You got your nerve. Oh, yes. Yes. Rudy Giuliani. And you still owe those two women as well too. You were paying them for the rest of your life. You in the hospital bed, but those women gonna be paid up. And I love it. Them two election workers that you put their lives in danger, Rudy, because you were in right along with Donald Trump on trying to overturn the 2020 election. I don't feel bad for Rudolph, not one single bit. I just want to know, when are you going on home to glory? When are you checking out? You done had your stay. Now it's time to check out. You remember the last time this fucker took a tumble on the stairs? Donald, you don't talk bad about people walking downstairs. Hey, Deshaun. Yeah, they're turning back the clock, but we're not going back. We're not going back to slavery. And we're not going back to Jim Crow either. And you're right, Deshaun, they don't want us. They don't want us to succeed and be ahead. This is why we're reading at a fifth grade reading level right now, because, see, Donald Trump loves the poorly educated. No, they don't want us as doctors, lawyers, anything. And they will do any and everything to make sure that we stay out of these positions. Look at what Keg's breath did with the military, firing some of the black female generals and officials. They've already started purging every position in the government. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but he keeps falling down the stairs. Yeah, because he's an egg with legs. I mean, I done said he's shaped just about like everything. I mean, don't even get me started on his hand. How's your face orange and then your hands are like a greenish color? But see, those are the same symptoms that the queen had before she passed away. So your time could be coming quicker than ever, Donald. Be careful what you ask for, poking fun at people. You made fun of Joe Biden falling on the stairs. Look at your ass falling on the stairs now. And he loves to talk about, well, they need to take an IQ test. They need to take a cognitive test. Let's see you take a cognitive test and pass. Motherfucker, you couldn't even not pronounce the other name for Tylenol, and you want to tell somebody to take a cognitive test. How about you take one? And you telling somebody to take an IQ test. You love going for black people's intelligence. With us, it's always low IQ. You did it to LeBron James. You did it to Maxine Waters. You did it to Jasmine Crockett. In Texas, it's nothing but a trash box. Oh, don't get me started on Governor Hot Wheels, Deshaun. Don't get me started on Governor Hot Wheels. And what's the other one? Paxton. That's where Alvin is. Alvin is in Dallas. Yeah. These white people don't want change. It's got to be up to them to want something different. In other words, if I can't have, you can't have. Because the trans people will get it. Because the blacks will get to it. Yep, Texas has the most black people in the nation. A 90-year-old woman that's in control. Are you talking about Virginia Woolf? Yeah, Virginia Woolf needs to go. Susan Collins needs to go. Jim Clyburn from my city of South Carolina needs to go. It's time for something different. Did you see when Susan Collins did her running re-election campaign? Her hands was like this. Oh yeah, we just talked about that too, Deshaun. Um, Donald Trump is offering Fetterman uh, an open embrace if he comes and he joins the Republican Party. And this is what I said to that. I think that Fetterman needs to go on ahead and just put your red hat on and embrace it, because you're voting along with Republicans on legislation that is hurting each and every one of us. That's what you're doing. There's people in the Democratic Party, because I'm a Democrat myself, but I'm more so like a Jasmine or a Zoran or Deja Fox. I believe in taxing the rich. I believe that women should have control over their bodily autonomy, that queer people, trans people mainly, should have gender affirming care. I believe that the rich should pay their fair share in taxes. I believe that people should have universal health care. I believe that workers should be paid more than just $7 an hour for minimum wage. I believe that people should be able to work in better, decent working conditions. Amazon workers, for example, these are labor workers. That's what I believe in. So I'm a Democrat, but let me be clear on what type of Democrat I am. I'm more so like a Jasmine Crockett. I'm more so like a Zoran Mamdani, meaning that I am for the people. I'm more, Kamala is for the people too, and she is definitely wanting to make sure that everybody has, which would have been a clear, excellent choice. She would have made a fabulous president. But America, y'all not ready for a femaleless president. Y'all not ready for that. Like Michelle Obama said, don't even look in a woman's face. Get out of our face with that foolishness. Y'all not ready for women to lead. Because if a woman was running this country, our asses wouldn't be at war right now. You didn't want to listen to Hillary Clinton. Oh, what about the emails? That emails. No. What about those Epstein files? That his ass trying to cover up. Heavily redacted pages black the entire fuck out. Protecting Orange Piggy. Alvin said, I'm so far left, I'm falling off the cliff. Listen, we got to do something different. It needs to be something different. Yes, and for the tap dancing black conservatives, like Deshaun just said, let me tap on you before I get off of here, because I've been over here on an hour. Listen. Rob Smith online, what are you doing? Rob Smith, Byron Donalds, Tim Scott, what are y'all doing? Hey, Faith. Hey, girl. Faith is going to be going live tomorrow. She has a show tomorrow. Well, we both have shows tomorrow. Mine's will be at 4, and I think hers is at 6. Coach D from Midas Touch Networks joins me tomorrow. And you guys can go and check out my girl, Faith. She has a great interview as well, too. So we're just talking about the current political state and what we can do to elect the change that we see in this country. And it starts with us electing people that we truly, genuinely trust, that are for the people. So y'all make sure that y'all stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's what we got to do. And by the way, I think I might go to jail because this dress is so sizzling. Let me stand up a little bit. All right, y'all see the cutout? A little bit of skin. A little bit of skin. All right. But you can check out the full pic on Instagram. Yes. I should go out in this tonight. I should go out, but see, ain't, hey, but I'm home. So I'm gonna be home. But yes. This dress is Little Red Devil. Ooh. But like I was saying, Coach D will be joining me tomorrow. So you'll get more insight if you subscribe to his channel. Yes, it's on both sides too, and it's got the ribbons, Chef's Guy. It's got the little bows. Let me turn so y'all can see it. Yes, yes, yes. See the cutout right there? That little bit of skin. Yeah. Yes, Stephen Allen. Stephen Allen, Alvin, and Alvin calls me the little Jessica Rabbit of the group. You guys see why. It's on Instagram. But yes. Oh, I don't even know what I'm going to wear tomorrow. I lost my train of thought. I'm probably going to get me some pizza or something and just binge watch me a show after this, after I get off of here. But this was so great, y'all. It was so great. Stephen Allen Davis. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And that was a good interview. That was a good interview. So y'all make sure y'all go in and check out my girl, Faith is the Substance. And also check her out tomorrow as well, too. She'll be on. Well, we'll both be on. And I'm pretty sure y'all can go on. And King Jobs will be on later this evening as well, too. So y'all make sure y'all go and check out Brother. It's like everybody has a schedule. Everybody has a said schedule for when they go live or when they go on. And I think that's dope. I think that's dope that we each have our said schedules as well. But yeah. I hope y'all enjoyed today's show because good Lord knows it was a lot. I'm just disappointed. Like some of your favorite celebrities, you're going to an event that is backed by an oligarch. Not Mark Zuckerberg, but Jeff Bezos, who literally said at the Washington Post, this is where democracy dies in darkness. They refused to endorse a candidate. But yeah, I say boycott Amazon. Continue to boycott Amazon. Continue to boycott any company, Walmart, Target, that is supporting and funding fascism. We can't have that. Not our hard-earned American taxpaying dollars going toward an oligarch that is funding a fascist and our own terrorism. No, we're good. So yeah. That's all I got, Fashion Dolls. I'm about to get off on here. I cannot save this live because a portion of Beyonce's, which song was it? Oh my God. I done forgot the song. Pure Honey, a portion of that was played in here. So listen, Parkwood don't play. Queen Bee is not about to get me on up out of here. No, YouTube don't play for that. They'll get you for copyright. So I can't. Yeah, my sister, shout outs to my girl. She knows that I love Beyonce, and she did like a thing in my stories with some of my outfits one of my outfits of the day, and she added Beyonce's music to it. So yeah, it caught a portion of that. So I can't save that, but hopefully it will save some of the short. So you'll be able to go back and check out some of the shorts. And also make sure that y'all are checking out my community tab as well too. Cut it out and replace it with another song. I wish I knew how to do that. I don't have a laptop, y'all. I do it all on my phone. I wish I knew how to do it. But yes, make sure y'all hit that like button. And there's a new feature here on YouTube where you can go and you can hype up as many videos as you want to. So you can go back and watch the past live shows and you can go in those comments and hype them up. And yes, my comments are moderated as well to trolls. That's why I've had to start doing that in my lives. And Faith, that's something I wanted to tell you too, because they come in your comments too, girl. Make sure before you set your lives to go on, go to that little gear and then go to who you want in the chat, set it in subscriber only. I'm telling you, girl, you'll have just your subscribers coming in there. The same way. It's been a smooth sailing for me. Do it through YouTube Studio. Okay. I'm going to try that. I hope it didn't get it. I hope it didn't get it. I really hope it did. So yeah, set your stuff. Start setting your stuff to subscriber only. King Jobs does it, and I do it as well too. And trust me, it works. It works, y'all. So I'm about to get on up off of here, Fashion Dolls. Um, Hopefully I'm able to save it. Hopefully. I love y'all all, and I will see y'all tomorrow with Coach D Speaks at 4. So make sure y'all tune in, Fashion Dolls. Till next time.